Sadly, the Jaguar Ipace eTrophy has been axed, and we talk about the best points of the series. We also talk about the ERA Cup and how your uni or school can get involved. I've got to say, there's been plenty going on, from Pascal Wehrlein leaving Mahindra, the Season 6 Formula E Berlin races, and the Season 7 calendar reveal, and Rene Rast getting the remaining races this year for Audi. We're trying to keep up here at Regen, and this goes long, so buckle up. Hello and welcome to Regen, the e-racing podcast. I'm your host, Dino, and joining me as always, it is Chris Soulsby, a man who is probably the most gutted that the Ipace has been axed. Hello.
You've hit the nail on the head. I am flaming devastated that the Ipace eTrophy is done. Hello. It's nice to be back. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Hello. Yes. It has. It's almost been... It's almost been a month. It would help if I could actually talk today. So, it's almost been a month, but happy to be back. Happy to be podcasting and talking to you.
Yeah, it's good to be back. So much has happened in the past month too, you know? Oh my God. So many plot lines, sim races, good grief. It's all been going on in Formula E.
Yes, we have had a podcast in the meantime. Jaguar from Hit the Apex. I'm sure you're listening, Jaguar. Thank you for having us. It was always a blast to talk to you. So go and check his podcast out. It is Hit the Apex. Jaguar is awesome and goes into some great depth. It's a solo show, but the collaboration with us was great. So yeah, make sure you do. All right, well, let's get into media of the week, and I'll let you start this one off. Chris, do you have one for us?
I do have a Media of the Week. My Media of the Week this week is a TV show, and it is called The Newsroom. This is quite popular in the US. I think a lot of people will have heard of it. It's a US drama about a newsroom. It's a broadcast team of journalists, and you know it's very clever. And I think everybody's probably seen this clip on YouTube, and it's from a TV show. And it's why is America the greatest country in the world? And one of the guys replies, "It's not," and that's what that's from. This is the TV show on that. And honestly, it's bloody excellent. I struggle with commitment when it comes to TV shows. Like, I can start watching something and then I won't finish it for like another 2 weeks. I'll watch the next episode for 2 weeks. But I watched all 3 seasons in a week and a half, which is, very good going for me. And honestly, this thing is fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. It's really brilliant, and it follows the stories of the characters, fair enough, but it also reports on real news headlines that happened from 2010 to 2012, and reports on them. So it's kind of like a real life case study dramatized, and yeah, it's just great. Watch it if you get the chance, because I can't fault it. Like 5 stars, 10 out of 10 from me. One of the best shows I've probably watched.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Really good.
Sure. As always, links will be in the show notes. Mine is called Breaking Dad. Those of you in the UK will be familiar with Bradley Walsh and his son Barney, and they go to America and have various fun times over there. They get an RV and they travel around and do different things. Spoilers, Bradley Walsh does get broken a little bit. He breaks his back.
Oh my God.
Yeah, not in a bad way. It's just, I think it's just a minor break. But yeah, bull riding. So... they get up to so many things, and it's really good fun. So go and check that out. It's called Breaking Dad.
I'm going to have a look at that, because I love Bradley Walsh. I think he's great. He's hilarious.
He is really funny, yeah. He's really funny on this as well. The first season, he really doesn't want to do anything, but the second, he's totally on board. So it's really fun.
Right.
Also, shout out to Motormouth Podcast. So Harry Benjamin, Tim Sylvie, they had Sarah Price the first driver to be announced for the new Extreme E. And a great episode. I just have to make sure that all our listeners go and check that one out if you haven't. Really cool. Sarah Price and Chip Ganassi, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with in Extreme E. Did you check that one out, Chris?
I haven't had a chance yet. I just listened to their one with Eduardo Mortara, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. So I can't wait to listen to the next one.
Nice. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. They've had some cracking guests. I can't believe it. Yeah, we're letting the team down over here. So if you're famous and want to come on the show, no, I'm just joking.
Yeah. If you're famous, we've got news for you.
Yeah, go on the Motormouth podcast.
Yeah, go on Motormouth, where we're not for you.
So we can listen to you. Very good. First up in the news, we're going to get to the juicy stuff in a minute, but the ERA Cup. Design, build and race your own 100% electric car. It's a STEM education project for students 14 to 21 years of age and enthusiasts around the world. To be fair, I don't think I would be able to do this, as my welding skills are very, very bad, and I would have to recruit my brother and father minimum to be able to make this thing. But everything's included, a straightforward kit, car design, sure, straightforward. Access to online resources, workshops and content throughout the process with the ERA Cup community. Integration of an electric powertrain, work as a team across multiple disciplines. Mine would be coffee and tea duty. Learn about efficiency and strategy at regional race events. Develop business acumen through acquiring sponsors and partners for you. How cool is that? That is. I would be team manager. Yeah, that's me right there. Explore content creation and marketing via creating websites and social media pages for your team, and a link to the ERA Championship Racing Series. So we've got 3 little pictures here of various stages of the build. It's basically a go-kart with a front wing, but it looks epic.
Cool, isn't it? It looks like a, if you ignore everything past the front wheels, it looks a bit like an old Lotus from the 80s, isn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah. No, that's cool. Really cool. Yeah.
I'm devastated that it's to 21, though, because I would love to do this.
Well, it does say and enthusiasts around the world, so...
there we go. Enthusiast over here. So
yeah,
we're covered. We're fine.
So now you just need a team.
Yeah, I'll me, myself, and I.
Yeah,
covered.
Or Oxford Brooks Old Boys, Oxo.
Oh, I love that. Oxo. We'll get sponsored by the Gravy Granules. That's it. Brown car.
just makes itself. There you go.
Oxo Racing. Bosh.
Yeah, alrighty. Feel free to use that, anyone. Especially Oxford Brookes University, if there's any of Chris's friends.
I don't have any friends. I'm joking.
Well, to be fair, most of my friends I either have on the show, talk to from on the show, the very minimal that actually live in New Zealand. So, hello out there, friends in other countries. Yeah. All right. The somber news, we're going to talk about the Jaguar Ipace eTrophy, and unfortunately, it is ending at the end of this season. So, this one comes out of sportscar365.com. Launched in 2018, of course, production-based SUVs, the eTrophy, the official support series to Formula E, of course, and British manufacturer, targeted 20-car grids, but only saw an average of 12 vehicles during its inaugural season, which was won by the Brazilian Sergio Jimenez, an absolute beast of a season, and Season 2 kicked off doubleheader in Diriyah. 9 cars with an additional race taking place in Mexico City prior to the suspension of the events due to the coronavirus pandemic. Potentially, the coronavirus has contributed quite a bit to actually kill off the eTrophy, and unfortunately, just Jaguar Land Rover in the previous few years, they haven't been in the greatest financial position. Also, I've been hearing, and I think that it was just unfortunately on the chopping block. But obviously, the cancellation doesn't affect Jaguar's Formula E participation, which, that's the main thing. So James Collado and Mitch Evans can rest easy. Chris, we've seen some awesome racing and some drivers that haven't previously raced, and they've been a success story really of the series. Yeah. What are some of your favourite moments from the series?
See, I've loved this series. I really have. I remember I first reported on it in 2017, which is when they launched it. And I thought, oh my God, this is going to be fantastic. And I really put all my eggs into this basket because I thought this was going to be great. And I've covered pretty much every ounce of news on the Ipace eTrophy for the past 2 or 3 years now. And I love this series. And there's so many great races as well. I mean, the standout has to be the Berlin race last year for me. I mean, if the Berlin race is online, check it out, because in season 1, the Ipace eTrophy kind of struggled to do overtakes. The cars were completely matched on performance. The brakes were so powerful that you could brake like 25 meters before a corner and slow down. So it meant that braking late was very difficult. But the Berlin round did not disappoint. Everybody really went for it in this race. And it was brilliant. It was so good. Do you remember that race? It was spot on. And
is this the one where it was just absolute carnage, and it was who was the let me guess who the VIP driver was?
Oh no.
It wasn't our man.
Well, you can't. Our man Salvador Duran.
It wasn't him, was it?
Salvador Duran too. No, it was Jens Strahl. I think he was a German.
Oh, Jens Strahl, yeah.
Yes. And you can't forget Salvador Duran too. But the beautiful thing is, with the Ipace eTrophy, it really offered people the chance to race. And it was expensive. It was a very expensive championship. But it was a very nice place to learn as well. And it gave you the international audience too. And, we saw drivers rise up. And, Celia Martin, for instance, this is my favourite story about the Ipace eTrophy right here. So, I mean, Celia Martin was a test driver for Jaguar. She was known for doing hot laps of the Nürburgring in the Jaguar Project 8. And even though she drove circuits, she'd never actually raced before. She'd never entered a race with other cars in it. She was just used to doing hot laps and lapping circuits on track days.
That's amazing.
And she went from zero race experience in this series, made her debut in it. And, she was, I wouldn't lie, she was massively slow in that first race in Diriyah. She was really off the pace, plumb last, almost lapped. But she continually developed. And towards the end, she almost won in Berlin. She was really on the pace, wasn't she? And she got like 4 or 5 consecutive podium finishes. And, and that's what I like about the Ipace eTrophy. It offered that chance in that place to develop. And, on that big sporting stage too, that an international championship offers. And I think for that reason, the Ipace eTrophy, I will always like it. I'll always look back on it with fond memories. And there's a lot of people in the Formula E paddock who disliked it for one reason or the other. But yeah, I really, really did love this champion. And it's a shame. It's a shame that it's been axed. But yeah, I'm going to miss it dearly, because it's brought a lot of fun memories for me, and for probably a lot of people at home who've been watching it. So yeah, I love the Ipace eTrophy. I love it.
Here's a fun fact for the listeners. Yeah. Our Ipace eTrophy episodes have at least, on average, 20 more listeners per episode.
Yeah, and there's that too.
Yeah, I mean, 20 more listeners an episode, but that's a fifth more than a lot of our other episodes, And I think one of them has over like 500 downloads now. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. It was
yeah, and I think it's just something different that people wanted to listen to. And yeah,
precisely, because you've got Formula E podcasts, and Formula E gets covered a lot, but for the Ipace eTrophy, it doesn't always get given the time that it deserves. And when you really delve into it, it's fascinating. It really is. And the way the cars are built too, they're so clever, very intelligently made. But Jag, very good.
Yes, and a software update for the Ipace vehicles due to the racing in the Ipace eTrophy. So 20 kilometres of additional range, Chris.
Yeah. I mean, that goes to show it, doesn't it? You know, Formula E, the Ipace eTrophy, electric racing in general really is paving the way for these new technologies to get developed and explored and improved ultimately. And, you know, that's just a success, isn't it? You know, you really can't complain about anything else. When you can develop a car on the road through competition, it's a win-win, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I was listening to something and they were talking about the ETCR, the Electric Touring Car Championship, and I thought there might be, you know, something similar come from that with additional range and, you know, all of those manufacturers and the different cars that are going to be racing in that. Yeah, it's only good for electric vehicles.
Yeah, precisely. And I mean, the way the world's going now and the way it's all developing in the automotive industry and that shift towards electric vehicles, it's the perfect arena to develop it, really. So it's more relevant than the likes of Formula One and other ICE series.
One of my favourite bits from the Ipace eTrophy is the very first race.
Yeah.
Firstly, because a Kiwi wins it, which was Simon Evans, but, you know, proud Kiwi. But secondly, how good was Alice Powell?
Yes, of course.
You know, yeah. I think she got the call up, and I think this is potentially before the whole W Series thing, and she was doing some plumbing or something, and then racing in the Ipace eTrophy. Amazing. Does an absolutely storming job, and I think she got the highest VIP finishing position in that season. Amazing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it was a mega race. I mean, that first race in Diriyah too, because we had all of the rain and the mud slides on the track, and you know, are we going to race? Aren't we going to race? And when it finally happened, yeah, I remember watching it at like 4:00 in the morning.
Get some commitment.
Yeah, it's brilliant, really good. I loved it. It was spot on.
Yep, and obviously, unfortunately, the second season, Catherine Legg and Brian Sellers not part of it this season, but yeah, hopefully we might be able to see them in the ETCR or something similar.
Yeah,
so
I hope so.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the Ipace eTrophy is done, but hopefully it'll come back. You never know.
I hope so.
Never say never.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we just need Chris to make a wish before he blows out his candles this year and moving forward.
I will. Yeah, that will be my top wish, I think. I still want to make my VIP appearance to start off with. I'm waiting for it. I still need to learn how to drive first, but it's coming. It's coming.
I find that amazing. Anyway, fun fact. Also, I've had my full license for over 10 years now. So yeah,
there you go. Pick Dino. If you are listening, Jaguar, you know, he's your man.
Yeah, if I could come over, unfortunately, all the borders are shut and everything. But if I could, I would absolutely give it a go. Why not?
You could go rowing, get a dinghy, and cross your way over on your own.
Yeah, the only thing is, it would probably be like my old Gran Turismo days, and the wall's faster than actually braking, so there might be a few scrapes on the side of the car. But anyway, so yes. We hope that it'll come back, and we hope that in the future we can continue talking about it. And now we have a sponsor ad break, Podgo. Today's podcast is presented by Podgo. Podgo is the easiest way for you to monetize your podcast, providing podcasters with a flat rate for ad space, so you always know how much you get when you include an ad from Podgo. I recently joined as a member, and you can too. Apply today to become a member and immediately be connected with advertisers that fit your audience. That's podgo.co, podgo.co. Thanks to Podgo for sponsoring this podcast. Right, we're back. And now some other talking points. Pascal Wehrlein leaves Mahindra. It was basically effective immediately. It's pretty much straight after losing the Race at Home challenge to Stoffel van Dorn from Mercedes. Everyone's saying Porsche Chris. I sort of think that's going to happen as well. Neil Yarni not performing, unfortunately. There were obviously high hopes for him at Porsche, but it hasn't worked out, and I think he'll probably move back to being some sort of development or test driver. Is Pascal a shoo-in now for Porsche?
Yeah, I think Pascal will go to Porsche, really, because it makes sense. Neil Jani hasn't performed at all this season. You'll probably see out the season with Porsche, but I think realistically they do have to look at an alternative driver. Simona Di Silvestro, I doubt she would get the drive.
No, surely not.
Thomas Priding's talented, but I don't think he'd get the drive.
No.
Pascal Wehrlein, in my opinion, is the perfect fit at Porsche. And he's expressed the desire to race in sports cars and endurance categories such as WEC. And as a Porsche factory driver, he obviously gets that chance if he does go to Porsche. So I would say that's it, really. Yeah, I'm not really surprised. I don't think. I would say in the long term, Porsche is a better option than Mahindra. Mahindra really hasn't been delivering this year. And even then, I don't think Pascal's commitment to Mahindra was that high to begin with. There was talk that he was looking at leaving at the end of season 5 to go to possibly go to a Formula One team, although that didn't happen. And
there was a bit of what was it around HWA, because he obviously was a Mercedes young driver, and then that sort of fell through, and he got picked up by Mahindra. So
when you look at the grand scheme of things, it's just kind of a bit of a mess, isn't it? He could have been picked up by HWA, could have been given the Mercedes EQ drive, went to Mahindra, it hasn't worked out, now he's going to Porsche. It's just kind of flip-flopping about, isn't it?
I do think at Mahindra, it's still a factory team, obviously. So, it's they're massive in India. And I mean, I don't see them on the road here, but there's actually a dealership in Christchurch, Mahindra.
Right.
Yeah, they are a decent team. Dilbag Gill's no slouch. They seem to be technically pretty good. Apart from when Rosenquist was in the team, it kept breaking down.
Yeah,
they seem to have minimal gremlins on the technical side now, and I don't know if it's the right move.
Right. See, I'm not sure, because I think with Mahindra, they're obviously a very good team. They're very established, very well oiled, and when you drive for Mahindra, and do drive for Mahindra, that what you see is what you get. You know that the car will be there or thereabouts, pretty much. I mean, they had a bit of a slow start to the season this year, but it looks like they've solved that issue now. And, when you're with Mahindra, everyone knows that Mahindra will be towards the front of the grid. Porsche hasn't achieved that this year. They've had a podium and a pole, but they haven't quite achieved highs in their first season, which is fair enough. It's entirely expected. But I think it's quite tricky, because Mahindra are acclaimed for failing to win a championship. If there's a team that will blow it on a championship fight, it's Mahindra. And it's going to sound really harsh, but in my opinion, Wehrlein will never win a title with Mahindra. But with Porsche, he just might in the future.
See, I don't know. Like, you've got #StartFromZero Porsche this year, but will they have done enough? And it's another year that potentially could go out the window. Whereas it's the competition is so much now that Porsche, and I mean, I'm not saying that they won't come up to speed, because they've already shown that they can get a pole and podium, but the Mahindra will get you solid placings, whereas Porsche, you can't really say that. It's just not tested enough yet. I mean, we might see Porsche absolutely slaughter everyone else in the last 6 races of the season, and I look like an idiot. But I don't think so. I don't think so. It's just not. Yeah, he's pushing the boat out and going, oh, is there going to be someone to pick me up? I just can't. Yeah, you just can't say that it's a good move yet.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because there's a lot of unknowns in the championship at the moment. Mahindra rectified their problems in Mexico City, I believe. So, their current format is relatively untested. They've only had 2 race starts. And, obviously he won't be driving that car for the rest of the season now, will he? And he'll never know what it's like. With Porsche, they've had a very different approach to other teams in Formula E in the way they've gone about it. But when you said that, actually, I just remembered the technical specs for next season. Because obviously, as part of cost-saving measures, the FIA and Formula E have extended the homologation period, which means that you can only change your powertrain. The teams can only change their powertrains once over the next 2 seasons. So essentially, teams now have this decision of, do we continue to use our Season 6 powertrain in Season 7, or do we go with a new powertrain for Season 7 and use it into Season 8? Yeah, thinking about that, depending on what Porsche and Mahindra do opt for, it could also be quite an interesting move, because the Porsche powertrain isn't great. It was fortunate for Lottra to get the podium. It's not as bad as the Neo.
No,
it's no Neo, and it's
had
no
to
Jaguar
put that in there.
Dragon. Yeah, exactly. You gotta slide it in there, haven't you? It's not that bad, but it's not great either. It's not peaking performance, not peaking efficiency. So yeah, I wonder what they would opt for next season. And it's just a gamble, because there are so many unknowns, and we haven't raced since February. And that as well brings so many other aspects to the table. And I was quite surprised to see that he was leaving Mahindra to go to another team in Formula E, as far as we're aware, after lockdown, and barely any races being completed this season.
Yeah, obviously he looked really good in the Race at Home Challenge, but the standard of driving, let's say, wasn't the best. And yes, he missed out. But the Season 6 finale, 6 races in Berlin, a couple of days apart. Now we're going to have to wait another month until August for this to shake out. But 3 double headers. It's going to be cool, because I think there's going to be at least 2 different layouts, if not 3 separate layouts for the Berlin races. And yeah, this is going to be, and I did have a look at who is fast here. Audi looks very good. Buemi looks good, so that means Roland will look amazing, probably. I've got my money on those 2 to make some moves up the field, but what are your thoughts on the Season 6 finale?
This is the thing, so I've been rewatching old Berlin E-Prix for the past week. I've watched everyone apart from Season 5.
Did you watch Daniel Abt? Daniel Apt's clean sweep?
Yes, I watched his Daniel Apt's win, yeah. It was a good race there, actually. So much was happening in the midfield.
Yeah.
But, as you said, Berlin is an Audi track. It always has been. Audi are phenomenal at Tempelhof. They won in Season 1 before De Grassi was disqualified. I don't think they won in Season 2. They weren't quite there in Season 3. But Season 4 they won it, Season 5 they won it. And comfortably too. So it's interesting, isn't it? I think, oh god, this is such a hard call. I do think Audi will leap up the table. And I think, they haven't won a race yet this season, and I honestly, De Grassi has to win a race sometime this season.
I feel it's coming.
Yeah, it's written law, isn't it? It has to happen. It's just such a it's a wide open thing, this 6 and 9 finale and showdown. And I couldn't even name the teams, come to think of it. I've drawn a blank 1 minute. Who drives in Formula E?
Who drives in Formula E?
Who drives in Formula E? I'm having to look at the Wikipedia page and the entry list. This is
Oh,
really embarrassing.
I wish Tom Dillman was still in Formula E. There we go.
Me too.
Yeah, bring him back in. He's Mahindra. All we go. Here we go.
Ah, there we go. So, I think Virgin are due a rise to the top because they've had a really bad season. They won the first race, did well, and then it fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, and they've got that Audi powertrain too, haven't they? So I would say they're my two picks, really. I expect Jaguar to be a bit faster and probably DS to cheater. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I honestly don't know who's going to win it. Who's going to win the title? Let's place a stake.
Oh man, I would love someone like Sims to win it.
Yeah,
yeah, just because he doesn't look like a racing driver. Just for that fact purely. Mitch Evans, I would love, obviously. Kiwi, and Jaguar. I would love you to be right that Jaguar would be able to absolutely destroy this season, and it does look like they've made another step up. I think Jean-Eric Verne is out of the title fight now. I think it's too far for him, but his teammate DaCosta could. The Cheetah is very, very fast. It is a very fast cat. I'm going to go with Evans. I reckon he's going to do it.
I hope you're right. That's the thing with this finale, the 6 and 9. It's like a proper test of endurance, isn't it? In Formula E's never done that. We've probably never seen that in motorsport, quite honestly. 6 races in 9 days, 3 double-header events, and things are going to go so fast. And it'll be so important to for drivers not to let emotions take advantage and get ahead of them. And yeah, I honestly think we're going to be in for some big surprises in Berlin. Big headlines, and yeah, it's going to be exciting, really exciting.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of movements in the table. That's for sure. It's going to be good. The Season 7 Formula E calendar. This has just been released, and a lot of the old favourites. One we haven't seen yet. London is back. Hopefully that one can be actually done this time. Right, so the rundown. Santiago, Chile, the first race of Season 7, 16th of January. So not a December race for the opener. Mexico on the 13th of February. Diriyah, a double header in February 26th, 27th. Sanya, China. Rome, Italy. Paris, France. Monaco. Seoul, South Korea. A big TBC, which Punta del Este maybe. That would be nice. Berlin, New York, and then London double header. So it ends up 24th, 25th of July. Quite early as well. Any that stand out there for you, Chris?
Probably Monaco, I think, because on the press release you have the table, and there's always a little asterisk near certain circuits that might be new, and one was next to the Monaco E-Prix, which means the circuit is still subject to FIA homologation and getting agreed and approved by the FIA. So there's a potential circuit change there. If that indicates everything, alongside Rome. So I think Monaco will be good. The Monaco E-Prix is always a good event. As I think they need to change the circuit layout. They'll make it a bit longer for overtaking to be a bit better. Seoul will be good. It'll be interesting to start the season in Santiago, though, because Santiago was a good race this year. It was really good. And, I mean, of course, London E-Prix. I've been excited for this for 12 months already, and it's not happening this year, so yeah,
sadly,
that too. So, and the TBC as well. I mean, probably, I don't know what that'll be. Jakarta. I'd like it to be Switzerland, but it won't be.
Oh, so, as long as it's not Bern, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quick question, and as soon as I saw this, I was thinking back to the Saudi contingent have, I thought they had a contract for 10 years that they were the opener in Formula E.
Yeah, they do. They do. So they've got a 10-year contract to say that they will be the season opener in Formula E.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if it's just as a result of coronavirus, really, because Santiago would have always been scheduled for that January slot, I'd imagine, and they would have ideally wanted to do Diriyah in December. So yeah, I'm wondering if it's a result of the Santiago Ypres getting scheduled in January, because Santiago was supposed to be. There was talk that the Santiago Ypres wouldn't be taking place for season 7. It was supposed to be axed, and they managed to negotiate a deal, and that has come through. So yeah, I think it's probably coronavirus things, and they've slotted Diriyah in somewhere. So
Right.
I'm not sure.
No, I'm sure we'll probably... Well, we may never hear about it, but yeah, that was interesting. Right. Now, Daniel Abt. We've talked enough about him recently. I guess you all know the drill by now. He has been dropped from Audi, and Rene Rast has taken over the seat for the remaining 6 races this season. Everyone sort of knew it might be him. I was hoping it was someone else, but thoughts on how he'll go, Chris?
I think it's an exciting signing. I mean, he's raced in Formula E before he did the Berlin race in season 2, when it was at Alexander Platz and the other Platz, which I can't remember. All the Platzes. And he was actually quite good. He was driving for Aguri. He didn't finish the race because he was hit by Bruno Senna, but he was decent. And it was the first time he'd raced single-seaters in a long time, and it will be this year. But I think he'll do quite a good job, in all honesty. He's a very quick and talented driver, as we know from the DTM. He's very handy behind the wheel of a racing car. And yeah, I think he will impress a lot of people. And yeah, I think it won't be hard to overtake Daniel Abt in the Drivers' Championship. I hate to say it, but I think he'll finish ahead of Abt.
Oh, really?
Formula E for 6 seasons. Okay, big prediction here. Hold on to your seat. Rast will get a podium in Berlin.
No way. Nah.
There you go.
I'm
Rast
sorry.
will win the championship.
A podium. No.
I think it's there because Audi are very good in Berlin.
They are very good.
A test coming up in July. I mean, he'll develop, and it's such a quick learning curve. I think he'll do it. I really do. And if I do, I'll be shocked. If he does do it, I'll be shocked. But yeah, why not?
Can't believe it.
Rast
really? Okay. Yeah. Rightio.
I'm going to say he's going to get a podium at the 4th race in Berlin out of 6.
The 4th race?
The 4th race out of 6.
All right. I'm going to note this down and then put it on Twitter. I'll figure something out if you actually win.
If I win, I'll be shocked.
I think there'll be many people on Twitter that will be shocked. But yeah, obviously a quick turnaround, and hopefully he can move up the grid quickly and get some much needed points as well, because Audi absolutely need it. Finally, also a big win today in the FSR Esports Pro Championship. Henry Cynic, Drillers Esports, qualifying in P1, dominant performance, and just great from all the Drillers drivers, but also shout out to Matthew Williams for a P4 to cap off solid points. So they're racing in Zandvoort next. Go and check them out and support them. And I think that's it. You can find us on Twitter at Regen Racing, Instagram at Regen eRacing Pod, as well as Facebook there, and the website www.regenracingpodcast.com. And we can be found anywhere you listen to podcasts. I'm continuing an absolute world domination so that our podcast is everywhere on the internet. And we really appreciate that you take the time to do so. Also, go and have a look at Motormouth. Go and have a look at Hit the Apex. yeah, there's so many awesome podcasts out there in motorsport. So yeah, go and take the time and check them out. And that's it. Chris, thank you very much once again.
It's been good. Our comeback is on. Bring on the final race of the season and let's hit that record button.
Yep, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I don't think we're going to do 6 more episodes in the space of, 2 weeks?
6 episodes in 9 days.
6 episodes in 9 days. Clear the schedule.
Hate each other by the end.
Yeah, maybe.
The constant thing of who Rast didn't get a podium today. Okay.
It very well could be. All right. See you later. Bye.
Bye. Okay.